All right, we're recording. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. It is Monday, May 8th, and today we are going to be talking all about conversations and how to start conversations with people and just talk to people about getting started in your challenge group and getting started in the business. Emma and I both posted in our team pages this morning to see what you guys were, wanting some help with. And at least in my team page, I saw multiple people comment and ask about conversations and how to start them, how to follow up, how to continue them, how to invite. So we figured this would be a good topic to focus on today. So I've got a presentation here for you guys. And like I said, if you have any questions, please be sure to type in the chat box and I will try and get to them at the end. All right, can you guys see my screen, see my presentation? I just want to make sure. Yes, okay, thank you. Awesome. Okay, let's get into it. So how to talk to people. That's what we're talking about tonight, you guys. Basically, how to start conversations, how to transition your conversations into invites, because I know that that's something that a lot of you guys struggle with is, okay, I'm having conversations, I'm talking to people, but I can't get on the subject, or I'm not getting on the subject of health and fitness, or not getting onto that part of the conversation. So we're going to talk about that, and then how to continue the conversation and follow up, once the conversation has died off. So we've got some really good stuff, really just to help you with feeling more confident when you are talking to people and having these conversations. Okay, guys? So I found this quote online. I thought it was funny. I got 99 problems and 86 of them are completely made up scenarios in my head that I'm stressing about for absolutely no logical reason. I thought that was funny because I think that sometimes we overthink this whole process and we kind of make up situations that are going to happen, or I just think there's just too much thinking involved almost with this whole starting conversations thing. Okay, so I want you to take a step back and release and stop over analyzing this whole process. Okay, so up until this point, I think you've struggled with your conversations. I want you to just kind of bless and release that and start fresh with this new approach, because this really is simple, you guys. And I think if you just kind of take that simple approach and these simple steps that I'm going to share with you, you'll kind of see that it's a lot easier than you think. Okay, and honestly, the more that you do it, the better that you're going to get at it. So the process is really simple. You're going to start a conversation with somebody. You're going to find their pain point, and then you're going to suggest a solution. That is really the three parts of this whole process of conversations. Okay, so just let's focus on how simple this process is, and we're going to kind of dig into each part of this. So number one, how to start the conversations with people that you know and people that you don't know, because it really does depend kind of how much you already know and how much you kind of already have trust built with this person. Okay, but think about it this way, you guys. This process of relationship building and talking to people should lead to one thing, and that is, what pain points does this person have in their life? And by pain points, I mean, what struggles are they going through, or what are some areas for their life that they could use some growth or improvement. Okay, and so when you kind of just know in the back of your head, that your mission and your goal here as a coach is to make sure that you are, providing a solution and helping people with this pain. You know what I mean? Like, you realize it's really a simple process. Okay, so sometimes it's really obvious what people's pain points are, and for some people you're going to have to do a lot of digging. That's why I feel like the whole process of conversations and building relationships is so different for each person. You know what I mean? Because like I said, some people, their pain points are very clear and obvious and they make it known, and it's easy to then address that, where some people you kind of have to do a lot of digging. You got to dig really deep, ask a lot of questions to find that, answer from them. So you've got to realize that this process isn't going to be like black or white. It's not going to take X amount of time. You know what I mean? Each person is different. Okay, so just remind yourself of that, and just know that at the end of the day, your goal here is to provide a solution for people. And and the way that you're going to do that is by identifying pain points that are going on in their life. And then when you do find that pain point, boom, right there, that is your opportunity to transition into inviting them and sharing that solution. Okay, if we went back, remember here, the whole point, find that pain point and suggest a solution. That's what we're here to provide as coaches, a solution to people's pain and where they're struggling. Okay, so that's what this is all about. Once you find that pain point, suggest a solution. And I'm going to kind of dig into this a little bit more. So here's, what are the questions and things that you should be talking about and asking when you're building a relationship and trying to get to know somebody and find their pain points. So in Beachbody, we call this form. And a lot of you guys already know this. It's a pretty, well-known thing. We try and talk about this a lot. But what form stands for is family, occupation, recreation, message. And this is a really great way to help you with building relationships and know what to talk about and what to focus on in your relationships, okay, or in your conversations when you're building relationships, okay? Now, I don't mean that you need to be like asking people about their family and then their occupation and then their recreation. Like, you don't have to like stick to this as like a formula. More so use it to kind of help you with knowing what questions to ask, like I said, and what to focus on in the conversations. So, and here's the reason why. So first off, family. The reason why you need to focus on this is because, let's be real, the reason why so many of us started coaching and started this business is because of our family in some way, shape, or form, right? Or even if you're not married and don't have kids, for your future family, right? I'm sure some of you guys have goals that involve your family, right? Like, share, please type in the chat box if you agree. I know for me, one of the reasons why I want to build my business and, earn income with this is because I want to pay off debt so my husband and I can buy our own house, right? Me and my husband, because I want to build a life together, for our future kids. So, you know what I mean? You need to learn more about people's family and dig in because, number one, everybody loves to talk about their family, but also because this is a big motivator for people and why they want to start coaching. It's a big reason, part of people's why, right? So you need to find out about this because it will be a great opportunity for you to then offer a solution to help them with whatever goals they might have with their family, right? So some things to ask, where do they live? Do you have kids? Obviously, are you married? How old are they? How much time do they get to spend with their family? What do they like to do with their family? You know what I mean? Like, dig into people in this part because, like I said, this is going to be a part of majority of people's why. So the more that you can learn and dig into this, the more strong of a case you're going to have when you share the solution, okay? Second thing that you should focus on is occupation. The reason is because people are spending 8+ hours a day out of their day away from their family to be at their job, right? People are spending their lives, years at these jobs, okay? This is a big chunk of their life. This is how they're providing and supporting their family. So once again, this is the reason why you need to learn about this and dig into this with people in your conversations because, again, if they're spending 40 hours out of their week away from their family to be at this job, is it something that they even like doing? Or are they doing it just for a paycheck? You know what I mean? Like, this is important stuff to know. What do they like about their job? Or do they even enjoy it? What are some challenges or are some things that they would want to change? Just dig in and ask people about this because it's a big part of their life. And again, it can be a very big motivator for why people want to get started with coaching and, want to build a side income. Maybe they want to get away from that job. Maybe they love their job, but they want to be able to supplement it and they're not earning enough income from it. You know what I mean? So dig in and find out these things. Okay, recreation. Again, this is important because this is what they're going to be doing, in their spare time, even if they have spare time, right, with their families. So find out about this because, what are we here on this earth to do, right? You guys probably have all seen that quote. We're not here to just pay bills and die, right? We're here to make memories. We're here to have experiences with the people that we love, right? Like, that's the reason why we're on this earth, not to just clock in and clock out, right? So again, find out about this. Are they creating these experiences? Are they, able to travel, or is that something that they want to do? What do they enjoy doing? And are they spending much of their time doing what they actually enjoy and what they love? Because if not, then, you know what I mean? We could provide a solution to help with that so that they could spend a little bit more time with their family or could, finally for the first time afford to go on vacation. You know what I mean? Find these things out. And then, of course, the message. This is really going to show, that you truly care about helping these people because you're going to be offering them support and a solution. And again, if you do a good job of digging in and finding out all of this stuff, when you then invite them and you kind of show them what's in it for them by talking about all these pain points and these things that you found out by listening and having a conversation, it's going to be a no-brainer. Of course, they're going to want to, learn more and see if this is a good fit for them. Okay. So that's why finding this stuff out is so key. You really can't breeze through this process. Okay. So make sure it's an important one because you really need to find out, these pain points, okay? And if you don't know people's pain points, it means you haven't done enough digging quite yet, okay? But this is all about listening and keeping your ears open, okay? Don't just, fire off questions, but listen, relate back to people, okay? What are their potential pain points in their life? And make sure that you are really figuring this out and listening to people. I can't hammer that home enough, because I feel like a lot of times, we're too busy talking or trying to convince people or sending these long ass messages, when really you just need to be sitting there listening to what these people are saying and just asking questions. You know what I'm saying? So now let's get into more specifically how to start conversations. What to be looking for now, right, in your conversations. What kind of questions to ask to kind of get to those pain points. But now how do you then open the door and get the conversation started? So first off, let's focus on the warm market. And these are people that you already know, right? These are people that you already have some sort of relationship built with or trust built with, okay? Your warm market is important because, like I said, you already have trust built with them because they already know you. Whereas if you meet some stranger on the internet, you have no idea who this person is. You know what I mean? You literally have to build trust from the ground up with them. So when it comes to your warm market, especially for those of you who are newer coaches, you need to focus a lot on these conversations and these people, because they're more likely to be committed, as you are building relationships with your cold market, okay? They are most likely going to be the ones to get started with you, especially at the beginning, okay? So how to start conversations with your warm market. Number one, look for pain points on people's social media. Okay, I have a direct example that I can give to you. Let me pull up the conversations really quick. I don't know. Can you guys see my Facebook right now? I don't even know if this is, I think it's going to show you my Facebook. But here, I'll just read this message to you because this is exactly what I did. And the only thing that I would change about this, you guys, honestly, is I wish that after I sent this, I was like, this is way too long of a message. I should have sent this as a voice message, right? I think I really wanted to make sure that I was touching on all her pain points. So I sat down and I wrote the message first, and then I copy and pasted and sent it to her. But after I did that, I was like, you know what, this is really long. I should have voiced it to her. So just know that if I could go back in time, that's what I would have done. But I'll read the message to you, okay? This is exactly what I did. And guess what? She's interested in learning more and setting up a call. So this message worked, okay? And then this is based off of, she's somebody that I have already talked to in the past, right? So we already have a little bit of a relationship built. But she posted this morning about how she's really bummed that she has to go back to work because she's been on maternity leave for the last 8 weeks. And she's like, man, this is so hard that I have to go back to work. How did you first-time moms, deal with going back to work after being home and having your baby? And so I use that as an opportunity, and I identified that as a pain point, right? Her pain point was that she didn't want to have to go back to work and be away from her child. And I know that that is one thing that so many coaches are motivated by, is to be able to spend more time with their family and their kids and not have to be tied down to their 9 to 5. Okay. So this is what I said. Hey, Anna, happy Monday. I know this is so random. We haven't talked in ages, but I've been keeping up with you through your Facebook posts. Congrats on your beautiful baby girl. Your pictures of her are so cute. So I made sure to touch on something, personal, and I was being authentic and real, right? And how I was keeping up with her. It wasn't creepy. It's 2017, people know that we creep on each other on Facebook. And then I said something personal about, her baby. And I knew that was, the reason why I wanted to reach out in the first place. So I said, I also saw your status this morning and had to reach out. I can only imagine how hard it must be to go back to work after having your little one. I'm actually working with a lot of stay-at-home and working moms like you who are juggling kids, their jobs, and are building side businesses that are growing big enough to give them more choices, including being able to leave the corporate grind for good while also focusing on their health and fitness. Wow, that was a run-on sentence. I should have broken that up, but whatever. Honestly, girl, just seeing your status today shows me that this could be such a good fit for you. And I'm actually looking for some new ladies to join my team. I'd love to chat with you and tell you more about what we're up to. Even if it's not for you, I'm sure you may know some people that I could help who want to get a side hustle going. I'd love to set up some time to chat for 15 minutes. What do you think? Let me know. Okay. That was a long message. Like I said, I should have totally voiced that, but it's whatever. You live and you learn, right? But that's what I did. So I identified her pain points, and I talked about how I bridged the gap, and I showed her how and why I think coaching might be a good fit for her. I also know that she was on her health and fitness journey. If she just had a baby, I'm sure that she's trying to get back on track with her health and fitness. So that's another, pain point I was able to touch on, right? And all I did was bridge the gap and showed her why I think that this would be beneficial to her. Okay. And you guys, I don't even have a message history with her, right? the first time don't know the last time I talked to this girl. Okay. So it's been a really long time. So this was a brand new, conversation, but it was also an invite. And I just did that by looking at her social media and identifying her pain point. And she said, "Hey, Alexa, thank you so much. We could set up a time to chat for sure. I'm usually able to chat on the weekend, blah, blah, blah," right? So she's ready to chat and set up a time to talk. So it was obviously a, positive conversation starter. It worked. So point being, keep an eye out on people's pain points on their social media. People post about it all the time, you guys. People are, always posting negative stuff or things that they're unhappy about. I don't know how many times a day I see people bitching about their jobs and, whatnot on social media. So use that as an opportunity to start a conversation and open the door about coaching. And also share that how, this is also a way that they can focus on their health and fitness too, because I think that that's so key, because so many people need health and fitness. And if you show them like they can kill two birds with one stone, work on their health and fitness and earn some income, you know what I mean? Like, it's a no-brainer. Okay, so let's move on. So, that's the first way, is look for people's pain points on social media. The next thing is, do you already have a relationship and trust built with somebody? A way that you can start a conversation and, reach out is to just say, come out with it and let them know, hey, I, wanted to reach out and ask a favor. I'm looking for 3 people that are ready to get healthy with me. That's kind of like the gist of it. Obviously, add some personal stuff to it. But when I was first getting started, it was easier for me to reach out to like my close friends and family, people I already had a relationship built with, and just invite them. And I was just like, hey, I want to reach out, let you know, if you haven't seen, I'm trying to get, my business going as a health and fitness coach. And I'm looking for 3 people that, that want to get healthier. And I don't know, for some reason, when I reached out to my warm market, the people that I already knew, it was a little bit easier to just come out and be like, hey, I'm looking for 3 people. I don't know if this would be for you or not, but, just thought I would ask, and obviously I throw in something personal, but it's easier to reach out, I think, to the people that you already know, and just ask them that way, because they already, like I said, they already have trust. And a lot of times they want to help you out. You know what I mean? A lot of my girlfriends, when I first got going with coaching and I let them know that I was trying to get my first challenge group up and running, I let them know that, I'm trying to hit a goal and help, 3 people. I don't know if this would be for you or if you know anybody, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh yeah, that's awesome. I really want to help. They were my friends. They wanted to support me. So, make sure that you reach out, because I think the cold invites work the best with the people that you already have some relationship built with. You know what I mean? With the people that you already have in your warm market. And then maybe if it's somebody that it's been a while that you've talked to them, or you need to reestablish that trust, like it's, you feel like you have really not talked with that person in a really long time, you need to go back to the form, okay? That's when you need to start that relationship building. And you just need to reach out to them about something genuine and get to know them again, or catch up with them and start listening for their pain points. And, you can ask them about their Mexico trip, if they posted about a book that they just read or a restaurant they just went to. You know what I mean? Or if you were just thinking of them, maybe you saw something on TV or you watched a movie, it reminded you of somebody, go send them a message, right? Like, this is where you need to stop overthinking it. And there's so many ways that you could start a conversation and just reach back out and touch base with somebody. Okay. So, a good way to do it, you can just start by like I said, just spending specific time, looking at social media and using that as a way to open the door to conversations. But if you're doing that, you need to make sure you're being intentional about your time. Okay. Don't waste all of your time scrolling social media. That's how you get sucked in. Okay. And then last, people who like and comment on your posts. We talk about this all the time, but this is a great opportunity for you to reach out. Hey, thank you so much. I saw you liked my post and I just wanted to reach out. Like, thanks for the support and the love. It means a lot more than you probably know. Are you working on your health and fitness also? Or how have things been going? Whatever you want. You are the one that's going to know better than me whether you should continue to build a relationship and just get to know this person and ask how they've been doing and dig in with their pain points, or if it's somebody that you already have maybe built that relationship with and talked about, things with or whatever, then you can just use that as an opportunity to invite them or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going to have to gauge that, as you're going through your conversations. Okay. Now, your cold market, these are people that you don't know yet. Maybe they're people that you've added on Facebook or on Instagram and you've connected with, but you have no idea who they are. You need to build trust with these people first, okay? How many of you guys have gotten those spam messages from, other network marketing people who are just say, hey, I just came across your profile. I thought you wanted to check out this tea that I'm selling or these wraps that I'm selling or whatever. And it's like, dude, I don't even know you and you're trying to sell me your shit, right? So, like, please don't do that. if I see anybody on our team that does that, it makes me want to cringe because we did not teach you that, okay? You need to build that trust first, and you need to listen to how you can provide a solution for people. I am not sitting here telling you that our goal is to sell as many challenge packs as possible. If that were the case, we wouldn't be spending this much time talking about how to build relationships and find people's pain points, right? So this isn't about helping everybody and selling all the challenge packs. This is about literally finding the people that need you and that need our help, okay? And you just need to focus on that. So you need to build that trust first. And this is why starting with your warm market, people that you already know, this is why it's such an important part when you're first getting your business started, because they already have the trust. Whereas your cold market, you need to build that trust up. Okay, so if you have just connected with somebody, or maybe it's somebody that you either just added them and they accepted your friend request, or vice versa, maybe they added you. Use that connection point as an opportunity to reach out. Thank you so much for the friend requests. I love meeting new friends on social media. How did you come across my page? Right? That's what I always ask people who come and send me friend requests. Or if I send friend requests and they, add me, I say, thank you so much for the ad. I love meeting new friends. I came across your page because XYZ. Whether it's because we had a lot of mutual friends that went to the same school, or whether, because, we were both in the miniature pincher fan club group, right? Like, you need to have a reason for why you're adding these people. And if not, if you're just adding people willy-nilly left and right, that's an issue, okay? Don't just add people. You need to actually add people that you connect with, okay? Otherwise, it's going to be really awkward, and you're not going to know how to start a conversation with somebody, okay? And then, if you did, however you met this person, just ask them a question based on how you connected. So like I said, if I've added somebody from a dog group, I've, asked them a question about their dog. You know what I mean? Like, just go down that path, and then boom, go right into forums, start asking them questions, okay? So once again, look for pain points, right? So if it's somebody that you've never talked to, maybe you added, or, you added each other on social media, but maybe you didn't start the conversation for whatever reason, if they say something, again, look for the pain points in social media. This is a great opportunity to reach out. Be like, hey, I know that we haven't really connected, we've been friends on Facebook for a while, but, I just saw your post and wanted to reach out, blah, 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 right? Like, go right into the reason why you think that, why you wanted to reach out to that person, okay? But social media is a great way, and looking at the newsfeed is a great way to have this reason to reach out to people and have these conversation starters. But I can't hammer home enough, if you're going to do that, don't let yourself get sucked in. Set a timer if you're going to scroll Facebook. Be intentional, and don't just scroll, you know what I mean? Like, make sure that you are doing this with a purpose, and that you're actually starting conversations and not just wasting that time, because it can be such a time suck, okay? And again, if people like and comment on your posts, use that as an opportunity to reach out as well, okay? It's really just about connecting with your tribe and your people, okay, you guys? This is the whole point. We're here to just get to know people that are like us and show them, oh, wow, you struggle with the same things that I did, or you have the same goals and vision for your life that I do. Let's work together, and let me show you what I'm doing to make that happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's the mindset that you've got to have when you're going through this, okay? So now, how to transition to the invite. It's really simple, you guys. You're going to focus on their pain points, right? So that's why going through and figuring this out is so key. Write this stuff down and make sure that you know what the specific pain points are before you're going to invite somebody. Because if you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to invite them. You're not going to being able to show them, how our solution will help fix their problem, right? So you need to focus on them. It is going to be so easy for you to invite when you have their pain points and you've really dug into what's in it for them, okay? This is such a key part of this whole process. And all you're going to do, like I said, is bridge the gap. Okay, so you're going to say, you struggle with XYZ, or you let me know that XYZ is not going well in your life, and I'm not sure if this would be for you or not, but it could be a great way to solve this issue by providing you with, insert solution. Okay, just like what I did with Anna. I said, I know I can only imagine how hard it is to go back to work after being home, having your baby. Okay, that was her pain point. I'm not sure if this would be a good fit for you or not, but I'm working with a lot of moms who are also working on, building up this side business so they can spend more time with their kids. Okay, so just bridge the gap from point A to point B, and how challenge groups or coaching could help to solve that problem. Okay, and just ask, does this sound like something you'd be interested in? Okay, don't overcomplicate it. So here are a couple more examples, and I highlighted the pain points in blue, and I highlighted kind of like how I bridge the gap to the solution in pink, okay, just so that you guys could see. So maybe it's a conversation about nutrition and fitness and joining a challenge group. You could say, after you've dug in with somebody and, ask them a lot of questions, you can say, honestly, girl, have you ever considered hopping into one of my challenge groups? I asked because you said you're struggling with eating right and you have no time with the kids to get to the gym. And this could be a great way to help you get on track with your goals that fits into your schedule. Does this sound like something you might be interested in? Right? Like, just keep it really simple. Just bridge the gap from point A to point B. Second one, support, right? Like, this is a great way to kind of use, or this is a great point to touch on when inviting, okay? Honestly, have you ever considered hopping into one of my challenge groups? I asked because you said you have no support at home with your goals, and I feel like having the support of the group will help you so much with finally, getting to where you want to be after yo-yoing for years. Does this sound like something that you might be interested in, okay? Again, just bridging that gap for people. And then coaching. Honestly, and do you see, you guys, like, I kind of use the same verbiage, right? This just keeps it easy for me, because then I don't know, I just kind of say the same thing, but that's just because it's easier, then I can type it faster. And why overcomplicate it, right? Of course, I'll fit it in to however people, you know what I mean, like everybody's specific situation, as you can see, but I, kind of stick to what works and how it flows for me. You don't have to start with, honestly, girl, have you ever considered, like, say it however you say it and however sounds good to you, but then just use that, and just every single time you're inviting, just use that. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but I just noticed, because like I said the same thing for all of these, and it's because it just works, and that's how I would honestly talk and how it would flow for me. But anyway, so coaching. Honestly, girl, have you considered continuing or starting your journey as a coach? I'm helping women just like you who are busy moms with little free time but want to build some side income so they can work less and spend more time with their families. I don't know if this would be a good fit for you, but would love to chat with you more if you're interested, right? It's kind of similar to what I said to Anna. All right, so once they're interested, you guys, what I do is I share with them a really quick video, okay, that third-party tool. I love this video that, I have like this 7-minute video of a coach where she just explains really briefly what coaching is all about, or I have a brief video, talking about challenge groups or Shakeology or whatever, and I'll just send it to them and say, let me know what you think. And if they're still interested, that's when I get them on the phone, okay? This is the reason why getting people on the phone is such a good process, because honestly, it weeds a lot of people out, right? Because people will message you freaking until the cows come home, but actually getting on the phone, they're not going to be committed, they're not going to invest, like, they're not going to get on the phone with you, right? So this whole process just really helps save you time, honestly. So now, how to continue the conversation and follow up. If the conversation, you're building relationships with somebody and maybe the conversation has died off, I think you have 3 options. Number 1, use it as an opportunity to invite. Number 2, continue the conversation and keep building the relationship. Or number 3, move on from this person and, use that time building a relationship with somebody else. Okay. So have you found their pain point? If you've built that relationship and the conversation died off, but you already found, some good pain points or reasons why you think that this would be helpful, follow up with an invite. Okay. This is how I say it. Hey girl, I hope your week has been going well. I was just thinking about you in our conversation the other day, and I wanted to ask you something. I'm not sure if this would be for you or not, but insert invite that we just talked about in the last section, right? So then just go right into the invite. Use it as an opportunity to start the conversation back up and invite them, okay? Now, if you haven't found that pain point, reignite the conversation in a genuine way, and you can do that by just kind of going to their profile or seeing what they've been up to. Hey girl, I hope you've been on some weekend. I saw your post about date night with your husband. That's definitely something I need to be better about. What movie did you guys end up seeing, right? Like, if somebody's, she just posted about how, she went on date night, they went and saw a movie, you know what I mean? Use that as an opportunity to just reconnect and keep the conversation going and continue building relationship. Do it in a genuine way, right? Like, something that's, that you would genuinely want to talk to somebody about or reach back out to them about, okay? And so, oops, I think I just clicked too far. Oh no, there we go. And so if you're not getting anything out of them, or if they're completely ignoring you, you guys move on, right? There's so many more people out there who need our help and who need you, that don't waste your time like pulling teeth with people who aren't really responding or giving you much, okay? So if it's like pulling teeth trying to talk to somebody, move along, okay? It shouldn't be like that, especially if this person is the right fit for you and your tribe and your group. If that's the case, you know, the conversation should flow naturally, okay? Not everybody is going to be part of your tribe, and that's a good thing because you don't want everybody, all right? Not everybody's going to be a good fit. And if you're trying to help everybody, you're really not going to be able to cater to, you know, anybody specifically. So don't just force these conversations if people aren't talking to you, right? Just spend the time talking to people that are responding back and that you're really engaging with, okay? Because they're going to be the ones most likely to commit and get started with you anyways. Okay, practice makes perfect, you guys. Remember that the more conversations that you have, the easier it's going to be for you to find and identify the pain points, and the easier it's going to be to invite. It's all just going to come with practice. The only reason why it's so, you know, much easier for me to whip out these invites and talk to people this way is because I've been doing it for 3.5 years. Okay, so just remind yourself that practice makes perfect. You got to get out of your comfort zone and just do it. The more you do it, the better that you are going to get. Okay, talk to people. Listen and dig into their struggles and be there to offer a solution. That is it. That's what you're here to do. That's all that there is to it. So don't overcomplicate it. Okay. So as an action item, I'd love for you guys to, you know, think about what your daily goal is going to be moving forward for new conversations, because you need to make sure that every day you are making this whole process we went through a part of your daily routine in your business. Because if not, you're not going to have anybody to help. Right. And that's what this is all about. Okay, so that's it, you guys. That's pretty much all I've got through for you. I was trying to kind of move through because I know that Zoom's about to cut us off, but let me see if you guys have any questions. But, you know, let me know, like, do you guys have any questions, any last minute things, or hopefully this was helpful. Was this helpful for you guys who have been struggling with conversations? Because a lot of you guys have said that this was hard, but I hope that this kind of just makes the whole process a little bit easier, right? Does anybody have any questions? I'm just looking through. Nobody really wrote anything in the chat box. So hopefully that means that you were just getting a lot of good info from everything that I was sharing. But I think it's pretty straightforward, you guys. It's really simple. You know what I mean? I think for far too many of us, we're just overcomplicating the process a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Just focus on those 3 things: the pain points and knowing that you're offering the solution to people, okay? And really just focus on starting the conversations with the right people, not everybody. I think that's another thing, is people are just going through and just kind of willy-nilly starting conversations with everyone, and then they struggle to connect. Well, it's like if you're trying to just start conversations with everybody under the sun, you know what I mean? Like, obviously it's going to be hard to connect with everybody. Whereas if you really try to focus in on your tribe and your people and the type of people that you connect with, the conversation's going to be easy. This whole situation is going to be like, oh, wow, like, this conversation is actually enjoyable, right? If starting conversations and talking to people is hard and not fun, it means that I feel like you're not talking to the right people. It means you're not talking to your people, okay? So just focus on that, you guys. Zoom's going to kick me off at any point. So if you have any questions, please comment in the team page. I hope that this was helpful, and I'll be sure to upload the slides for this into the team page for you guys as well, okay? Thank you so much for hopping on, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. Bye, guys.